welcome to Help Desk with Joe. This is show number 127 as we come back after the holidays. We're here at the Patch Turned Up Studio in Spencer, West Virginia. With me, as always, Justin.
Morning.
And Joe.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. So,
2023.
yeah, welcome to the new year. First show of 2023. Good call, Justin. Man.
We're back.
Don't expect it to get any better, but
The quality may not improve, but the date has changed.
yes.
That's kind of crazy. 127 shows, a year under our belt, over a year of shows. So lots of good stuff going on. And if you're not familiar for the new year, or you just happen to stumble across this podcast and show, this is where Joe from A&N Digital Technologies here in Spencer, West Virginia, goes through everything technology related for the consumer, the business person, the average person. Everybody needs to know about their technology, Joe.
Yes.
And that's what you bring to the masses. So, good, bad, or ugly, they're going to get it today. And it sounded we didn't have a big we didn't have a big pre-show meeting like we normally do. That's sarcasm, by the way. We never meet, but you always give us a little hint or insight to what these stories may be about. And today seemed like a mixed bag. So
Yeah, we're going to cover all bases today, the good, bad, and the ugly. So
Yeah, there's one that he said I might not like.
I know.
So we'll see.
I'm assuming I'm in that bucket as well.
It didn't sound catastrophic, but it sounded like you might not love it.
Well, possibly.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know for sure.
Well, we shall see, and let's get this show underway. So your first item of business, Joe,
Yes.
Google.
No.
Our Lastpass,
Lastpass,
sorry.
yes.
Lastpass.
Yeah.
I got ahead of myself.
So this is an update on a story we covered a while back about Lastpass getting hacked.
Okay. And you use Lastpass, right?
Did.
Oh, no. Heads up, consumer review.
Yes.
Thumbs down.
Yeah.
A password manager app, basically,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the ongoing saga of Lastpass. So
Hold on. This might be the one time that my laziness and lack of ability to do something that I probably should do
Right.
might have saved me.
Possibly, yes.
When does that ever happen?
Now.
This is the one and only.
Yes.
You got me on two-factor authentication, and I've been a big fan of that since I've started, but it took you a long time.
Yeah.
And you've talked to me about password safety, and I've begrudgingly just been lazy about it. So anyway, all right, LastPass. Sorry, Joe, go ahead.
Okay, so LastPass users, your information and password vault data are now in hackers' hands. So this is the ongoing saga from August when LastPass first announced their data breach.
Man.
Yeah.
What are they? Well, you're going to tell us the scoop. Never mind.
So, LastPass, one of the leading password managers, said that hackers obtained a wealth of personal information belonging to its customers, as well as encrypted and cryptography hashed passwords and other data stored in customer vaults. They posted this right before Christmas, December 22nd, like literally days before Christmas, so it kind of flies under the radar.
Oh, yeah.
Represents a dramatic update to the breach LastPass disclosed in August. At the time, the company said that the hackers gained unauthorized access through a single compromised developer account to portions of the password manager's development environment and, quote, took portions of source code and some proprietary LastPass technical information, end quote. The company said at the time that the customer's master passwords, encrypted passwords, personal information, and other data stored were not affected. Fast forward to December 22nd, Thursday, it was on a Thursday, the update said that the threat actor could use the source code and technical information stolen from LastPass to hack separate LastPass employee and obtain security credentials and keys for accessing and decrypting storage volumes within the company's cloud-based storage service. So let me break this down for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, that's way over my head, but all right.
So when LastPass first announced that they were hacked, they basically said, okay, they've got your names, email addresses, your personal information, no big deal. Everybody already has it anyway. And then they said your password vaults were safe.
Because they're encrypted so
Right.
heavily. Yeah.
Right. Now they're saying, well, yeah, they might have got your password vaults as well.
Oh, man.
But they said, and this is where I have issues.
Yeah.
They said, but with our security setup, that it is next to impossible for them to hack your vault, because the way the encryption's set up is because they never save your password on their side. So
the one password you use to get to all your other passwords, they don't have it.
Right.
Only you have it.
Right.
Okay.
So anytime you decrypt the password vault to input it in like your phone or your computer, that's done locally at the device itself.
Right.
So they say.
Oh,
And that's where I'm with the hesitation of so they say, is because they first said, oh no, that nobody got your information, and then they wait till right before Christmas so it kind of flies under the radar, nobody's really paying attention. Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, they kind of did steal your information.
Oh man.
And you should be fine.
Yeah.
Keyword should.
It's only all your money and savings and
Yeah, and
all your accounts.
Access to all your information.
Yeah.
I mean, and you really don't need that at Christmas. I mean, not that there's a good time for it.
Right.
But holy cow, there's enough stress around the holidays and stuff anyway.
Yeah, if there wasn't a worse time for that to happen.
Yeah. So, I take it you no longer use Lastpass.
Well, my subscription is paid up until August or September, but I made sure to turn off auto renew.
Right. So how worried are you for your personal information? Are you worried, or where do you stand?
I will be changing all my passwords just to be safe.
Gotcha.
I've moved on to a different company, which I will be reviewing in coming weeks. Spoiler alert, so far so good, knock on wood. But I did not use my same master password anymore. That's basically just shot.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And a developer account, so basically like a programmer somewhere that
Yes.
worked for LastPass, they got hacked.
Yeah.
Which is like the worst person to get hacked.
Exactly.
That person should have like the best possible security on their computer.
Yeah, basically the person has one of the keys to the castle.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know anything about it, so take this with a grain of salt, everybody out there, and understand that I don't know anything about any of this. I agree with Justin. I mean, does it not seem ridiculous? Like, am I wrong in thinking that this is ridiculous, that the last person that should be hacked that works for a business got hacked? And shouldn't they be, if they can be breached, then their whole system maybe can't be trusted? Or, I mean, what are we talking about here? How does one of their main players get hacked? I mean, isn't that the person keeping you from getting hacked?
Yeah, that's their job, and based on that logic, Dave, it makes perfect sense. But in the technology world, those are the ones that are hardest hit after.
Yeah. So so everybody's aiming for them regardless. So it's just a matter of time.
Right. Yeah, it's more of a win not if situation.
Right. Gotcha.
So I mean, I can understand to a point that, like, yeah, they've got a huge target on their back. So that's why it happened. That's kind of the same logic of years ago, people would say, yeah, buy an Apple computer because it doesn't get hacked. Well, that used to be true because almost nobody used Apple, so the target was like that.
Right.
Now the target's like this.
Yeah.
And
I have noticed like iPhones and you've provided those tips and warnings that if you have an Apple device or whatever, to constantly update and look out for certain things.
Right.
And you're right. That didn't used to be the case. That was kind of the exclusivity of it.
Right. Because it wasn't that big of a threat.
Yeah, but now it almost seems worse than general stuff, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's so new.
Yeah.
Or unusual, I guess.
But that's the
poor Apple users. They'll get the protection they need in a couple of years.
Yeah. But literally my biggest issue with this is, from the PR standpoint, how mishandled this has been.
Yeah, that does seem crazy.
I mean, if they come out in August, would I be mad? Absolutely. But at least they'd say, as up front, saying, this is what happened, but have no fear. If they gave the same speech in even like September, I'd be fine with it. But waiting like a couple days before Christmas, knowing it would fly under the radar because that's the last thing people were thinking about, I have problems with that. I have huge issues with that.
Yeah, on their end, that's sly marketing because they probably avoided a large, Google front page news article.
Yeah.
But it's kind of dirty.
Yeah. And that's my problem.
And I'm assuming the way you're talking that you think it was purposeful. They purposefully said, all right, let's wait till the week before Christmas when everybody's got everything else on their plate.
Right.
and then we'll just slide this through, and then nobody will remember
Well-
except for that one guy.
Yeah.
That one guy that does his research and homework in West Virginia.
Yeah, because
Daggone Joe. Who's this Joe guy?
what was it? Last month before, Justin, you sent me that screenshot of that Lastpass article or the email that Lastpass had sent out about being compromised and all that. And I emailed and I texted back in. I was like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But then fast forward, it took 4 months for them to go, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, we kind of dropped the ball on that.
Yeah. Huh.
So I'm very disappointed in Lastpass, as is others. So if you have stock in Lastpass, you may want to sell out.
Oh gosh. You better hurry up.
Yeah.
And I wonder, this programmer guy whose computer got hacked. I mean, I wonder, do they even require that you're in the office on like their secure servers, or do they have programmers all over the place just working from home and basically having a lower security level at home than?
I don't know. I mean, that's a great question.
This guy wasn't at a Starbucks or something and got hacked, hopefully.
Boy, I hope not.
Oh gosh.
I mean, surely he would have enough sense, but I've seen dumber things.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Well, like you said, Joe, I mean, there's just so many folks out there that are looking at this as a potential payday and a huge target on their back. So.
Right. And again, the way they have their security set up is it's built for situations like this because they are smart. LastPass is smart enough to say, eventually this is going to happen. So we have the steps and measures in place to cause as little damage as possible, but just dragging their feet on giving customers a heads up is. And if it was a free service, I'd get it, but
I mean,
it's a paid service.
That's
so.
straight out of the playbook, though, for most companies that are in trouble. I mean, I feel like I've heard you say this multiple times. Well, they drug their feet, they didn't say anything, and then now they're trying to wash it under the carpet and, hope the fallout's not that bad.
Right.
That seems like the MO, which is, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess that's typical business nowadays.
Well, and it's one of those, I can understand if like Facebook did it, because Facebook, you don't pay anything to do Facebook.
Oh, yeah,
to
that's
operate
true. That is a
Facebook.
that's a good point. That's a big difference between, go ahead, finish that thought.
But this is a paid service
Yeah.
that I pay monthly for.
And that's their job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook, you sign up knowing you're taking that risk because it's free.
Right.
Huh. Yeah, great point, Joe. Man.
I get those every once in a while.
Well, it's scary, crazy, just because we have faith that these companies are able to do what they say, and
Right.
then, bam, they get hit, and it's just like, oh, if they're not safe, who is safe?
Right. Which again, I'm not knocking them for beginning compromise. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. But just the way the situation was handled was
Yeah.
a big.
This makes me think I should change my password from password.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, I've stuck with it for a while. It's been okay, as far as I know. I might go to password 123. We'll see what happens.
Well, that's more character, so it's a little bit more secure.
Yeah.
It'll take the hacker 10 seconds instead of 5.
Right.
So it's going to take them twice as long. So you can go around and tell people it took the hackers twice as long to get in.
Nice. My work here has been effective. I hope when they hack in, they pay like a couple house payments or a car payment for me.
Yeah, they look at your bank account and go, oh man, we need to help this guy.
How awesome would that be?
Yeah.
Get hacked, you're like, wait a minute, I just got money in my account. I gotta pay some bills. What just happened? Like Robin Hood.
Yeah.
There's a Robin Hood out there that's just helping poor people.
Just ask no questions and go, uh-huh.
Yep. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to all.
Yeah.
I don't even care what month it is.
Right. Santa
It could be July.
Yes, either Santa came early or Santa came late, but either way, it's
Yeah,
all good.
Yeah. Dang, that would be pretty wild. Just tack into
Yeah.
something. Here you go. Here's a couple of dollar bills.
Well, I did see.
You're right. I wonder how many people would even question it. Just be like, okie dokie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's hope this happens again.
This is kind of a side note. I saw a story last night where these hackers had tried to do ransomware on a children's hospital, and they actually gave the hospital the decryption key for free.
Really?
Yeah. was like, you know what? And they said, we're sorry. One of the guys in our group kind of went rogue. I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Y'all act like you're doing something great here.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about don't do it to begin with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He crossed the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
We steal millions a year from other people, but
we're scoundrels, but not that much.
We're ethical scoundrels. I mean, granted, I will give them credit for, doing the right thing because it's a children's hospital. But it's
Yeah.
like, you know what? How about you don't do it to begin with? Get an
You
honest
don't have to
job.
worry about this.
Yeah. Then you don't look like a goober having to do that.
Gosh. Yeah.
okay, I got a little slap on the wrist for hacking children's hospitals. Like, you can't hack for a week. That was bad.
Yeah.
What you did.
That's it. You're
Putting you on the
timeout.
bench.
Yeah.
You're on timeout.
Yeah.
Children's hospitals. What are you thinking?
Don't you know better?
We're trying to leverage people for real, not kids.
Yeah. These poor kids have a hard enough time, and we don't need you messing it up.
All right. Well, Lastpass users out there, everybody, if you're using that subscription or whatever, just call Joe. He'll pick you up.
Yes. Like I said, I'm
8675309. All right. Anyway, on to story number 2, Samsung.
Yes.
Tell us about Samsung. I'm a big Samsung fan, Joe. Don't kill my hopes. Don't crush my dreams.
Well,
Don't be
Get
mean
ready.
to me. It's a new year.
get ready. So Samsung is recalling nearly 640,000 top-loading washing machines due to fire hazard.
Huh.
Davis stopped.
I don't know what kind of washing machine I have. It's weird because I use it. I have no idea. I kind of think I do have a Samsung, but I've had mine a long time.
Well, it may not hurt to check your model number. So Samsung is recalling nearly 664,000 top-loading washing machines because the units can short circuit and overheat, posing a fire hazard. The recall announced involves 14 models of washers equipped with super speed wash, according to Consumer Product Safety Commission. The recall includes model numbers WA49B, WA50B, WA51A, WA52A, WA54A, and WA55A. The appliances were sold between June 2021 and December 2022 at retailers including Costco, Best Buy, Home Depot, and Lowe's.
All right, go over that list one more time for everybody out there.
Okay, WA49B, WA50B, WA51A, WA52A, WA54A, and WA55A.
Okay, there you go, folks.
And the company said they had received 51 reports of smoking, melting, overheating, or fire involving the washers, but a software update can fix it. That's what scares me. This is the same nonsense that GM did with their Chevy electric vehicles. Oh, a software update will fix that, and it didn't.
Wow. Huh.
So owners of the machines should immediately stop using machines until they are updated.
How do you update it? How do you update a washer?
Hook it to Wi-Fi.
What?
Yeah.
How do you hook it to Wi-Fi?
You set it up with your phone, and just like you do every other device. Now, why in the world a washing machine needs to be connected to your phone, I'll never know.
Or Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'm kind of assuming mine's not one of those models because I don't know that I have what time out. How would you use your phone to run your washer?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
This is craziness.
Unless you just want it to notify you that, hey, the washer's done running.
I mean, I guess, but wow.
I do forget sometimes, so could be good, I
This
guess.
is like I could use it.
You can't make it an hour. You gotta know roughly an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems crazy. Okay, so you hook it to Wi-Fi using your phone,
Yeah.
update it, and it's all good.
So the Consumer Product Safety Commission is urging people who with the recalled washer to see if the machine has received the software update Samsung put out to fix the issue. The model and serial numbers for the washing machines are located on either the label inside the top lid or the label on its rear. So if you're looking for your model number, those are the two locations to look.
Label inside the lid.
Or on the back of the washer. And it's only their top loading models.
Yeah, I guess to show you, sometimes little touch screens and cool lights and stuff are cool, obviously, when they're working and there's no problems. But then when something like this happens, you're like, should just use a regular old knob. And then you don't have software issues.
Exactly.
In your washing machine.
Being the tech guy that I am, don't get me wrong, I love a good gadget.
Yeah.
And to the point, Cena bought a new air fryer for Christmas, and I loved it because it has, it's a dual basket one.
Uh-huh.
So you can set 2 separate independent timers and temperatures, and oh man, it's the berries, yeah.
I think you should bring it in with the cord.
Well, it's
and let us
attached.
try it out.
Well, what are we gonna air fry?
I don't know.
Actually, it'll air fry, broil, dehydrate, and bake.
I like to eat, so it doesn't really matter what we do.
Oh, trust me, I downloaded the app, and well, it's an accessory app that you can look up recipes and stuff.
Nice.
So the air fryer does not connect to the internet, but going back to being the tech guy that I am, some of this stuff I have no idea why you need to have technology connected to it.
Huh.
Washing machines, refrigerators,
Yeah.
chainsaws.
What? Chainsaw?
Yeah. There's, I won't name the brand because I don't want to get the dealer in trouble, but we have a customer that is a dealer for one of the big brands.
Yeah.
And basically, you can't work on, if you buy a new chainsaw, depending on the brand, you can't work on it yourself. You can't adjust the carburetor, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You have to bring it back to the shop,
Right.
and they plug it into the computer to run diagnostics on it.
Well, I kind of see motorcycles have kind of went the same way. That's the only reason I know anything about this. They got ECUs just like cars do that
Yeah.
adjust the fuel,
Right.
which is kind of smart because here's what happens: you get a regular motor with a carburetor, and you get some knucklehead that thinks I can adjust this, and they take a little screwdriver, they adjust it, they make it too lean, too rich, they blow the motor up, and then they come back and blame the people that they bought it from.
But
The computer on the carburetor that adjusts the ECU, or the ECU that does all the adjusting, does that for you. So therefore, you don't have those issues.
But on the flip side of the coin, somebody like you that has done it forever, it's an inconvenience of, okay, instead of, because here's what you run into of going, okay, I just need, it'll take a 30-second adjustment to fix it. Well, now you can't just do that in your garage. You have to load your bike up, take it back to the dealership, waste a Saturday for them to plug it up and do the same thing for 30 seconds, then haul it all the way back.
Yeah, I mean, that there is that. It just depends. Like, they're just way less issues because if you come into that kind of problem in your old school with the carburetor with a high-low setting, like I think on chainsaws it's high-low settings, but it's essentially the air screw. It's the same thing on a motorcycle. I would have to constantly adjust it to match the temperature and the humidity of that day anyway.
Right.
So whether I occasionally might have to take it into the shop to have them do something on the computer versus me constantly adjusting, for the temperature humidity changes,
Yeah.
I almost think it's worth it.
Well,
Just because, I mean, to give you an idea, Kale had a blubber in his bike when we got it back out after sitting for a couple of years, and it took, 2 different jet sizes and a couple hours to keep pulling the carburetor off and changing jets. Versus if you have an ECU, it just does it automatically.
Well, this customer's issue was his customers that he was selling the chainsaws to, they were loggers.
Oh yeah, they don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, so literally they would go out and start working. Well, it would break or something goofy would happen, so they'd have to bring it back in for them to run the diagnostics instead of them being able to fix whatever was wrong with it on the job.
Yeah. I'm curious to see on the long term though if there's more or less breakdowns.
Right. Yeah, I don't know because when I talked to him, this was like right when they first got the equipment in, and they said it was a pain in the butt then.
Yeah.
But I've not followed up with him to see.
There's always change, that causes uncomfortableness.
Right.
I mean, I'll throw this out there. Like the boys out at the farm, we have high school kids that work out at our farm.
Mm-hmm.
With the weed eaters and stuff, I think they've blown up 2 weed eaters because they forgot to add oil to the gas.
Ooh, yeah.
Where the computer might have seen that and shut it off. and saved us a couple $100.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That I don't know that would do that, but I mean that would be a huge upside.
Right.
Because mixing gas, whether you're a high school kid, college kid, or an adult, is always an issue because you can't remember. If you're like me, you're like, man, I got that gas 3 months ago, and did I add oil? Did I not add oil? I don't know. So you pour some in a clear container and try to see. And,
Right.
it's a whole fiasco.
Yeah.
I know people do sticky notes, like add oil.
Yeah.
And if there's no, but sticky notes blow off or whatever.
Now we always have just one can dedicated for weed eater gas, and it's wrote on the.
Yeah. Well, I just mean, but if you go get gas and you forget to add oil,
Yeah.
and you can't remember, then you're like,
Yeah, did I add it or did I not?
Yeah.
Because my attention span's about like that, so I would be in the world's. Yeah.
So there's always those issues.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I know in motorcycles it's been a pretty good thing because it helps tremendously with the jetting and stuff. But okay.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the topic. Samsung.
Yeah. Samsung
watch
to chainsaws. Yep.
Yeah.
Classic.
Come on, Joe.
Hey, Justin's the one supposed to start this
I was
shit. He's
just-
the adult in the situation.
I was just
He
about to talk.
and he just let it roll.
Well, we know based off 127 shows that Justin is not doing that job, so he's moved on to other jobs. He's a backup story guy now.
I was gonna say Christmas break did him no good.
Well, yeah, chainsaws. How did we get to what in the world? Come on now, Justin.
Here, I can draw you the map because this is how my mind
I
works.
like that we just worked motorcycles into it.
Yeah,
Or at least
we was talking about how sometimes putting technology and stuff is a dumb idea. Washers,
Oh, yeah.
refrigerators, chainsaws.
I would have never thought chainsaws, but that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't either until I saw it firsthand. I was like, well, that's just
Huh.
crazy.
Nice. All right. So what'd you get for Christmas? Did you get anything good?
Well, I got that air fryer.
Some golf gloves.
Ooh.
Yeah. Justin's ready for the links. Too bad it's
Yep.
rainy, crappy, and 40 degrees out.
Yep.
But it beats 15 below and what
Well,
was
I
dealing
mean,
with on
yeah.
Christmas Day.
I'm just saying it. I don't hate. It's always awesome to get those kind of presents, but then you're just sitting there itching.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
Yes.
crap.
Yes.
It's raining out. Although we had a couple nice days. Did you happen to go?
I used them
Nice. Okay, that's good.
on Saturday.
I mean, because we've got you get a bicycle for Christmas, and I
Mhm.
was like, why is there a foot of snow outside? I can't go ride my bicycle. I'm just dying. So you try to ride around the house till you get in trouble, and
Yeah, or something breaks.
yeah.
Okay, Justin, so I have to ask,
Yeah.
did it improve your golf game or hurt your golf game, or was the issue with you or the clubs?
It's so tricky because anytime you get something new like that, there's an adjustment period.
Yeah, I used to play without them forever, and I was like, I don't need gloves. You got to take them on and off. But I'm sold now. I like them, even if it's a mental thing.
Yeah, I like gloves.
I think it feels a little better, especially after 10 or 15 holes. You start getting a little callus on your hand. You don't get that with the glove.
Yep.
I like it.
Okay. Then in the gloves, you can wear that around. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, hey,
Yeah.
Yep.
Merry Christmas. Check this out.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my glove. All right, air fryer and golf glove.
Yep.
What a combo.
I gotta say, you guys are boring.
Well, that is when you've reached the epitome of adulthood. It's
Yeah.
like,
Socks.
yeah.
I was gonna say,
I got some
the
socks.
shame of it is I can't even add anything exciting to this. I got the foldable chairs that have the little rocking things on them.
Yes.
That's what I got.
Ooh, nice.
I know.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
My friend had one I used, and I was like, "Dang, this thing's like the cat's pajamas." All right,
Yeah.
And my kids noticed, so that's what they got me for Christmas.
Mhm.
And I was like, "By golly, big time, boys,
There
big
you
time!
go.
I got a chair that can rock."
Which, considering as much as you're on the road with the kids, that will give much
yeah.
use.
Soccer games
Yes.
galore.
Yes.
And my old chairs are all beat up and crappy. So yeah, it was a good present.
Nice.
Yeah, rocking chair, folding chair. That's when you know you've hit like middle age, and you're like, yes, I got a rocking chair.
Yes. and you get specific. Like there is a type that you're looking for. It's not just a rocking chair.
It's not a new foldable chair you just pack around with you. This is a
Right.
rocking chair.
Yeah. I want this brand, this particular type.
I didn't get it. It caught me completely by surprise.
Right, but they knew
Oh, yeah.
exactly the the brand or the type that you was looking for.
Yeah, that's cool when you just happen to mention, oh, this is cool, and think nothing of it, and then it
Yeah.
shows up on Christmas. You're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
somebody
though,
was listening.
Now I'm starting to wonder. I wonder if their conversation was like, look, he's getting old. He needs a more comfortable rocking chair, so one that rocks. That way, like an old person that just sits there and rocks in the game.
And see, I can see Kel initiating that conversation just because.
Oh yeah.
The cane's too much this year, but the rocking chair. Yeah.
That's a starter kit.
Man, now I'm bummed. Anyway.
So you guys ready for Google Voice?
Yeah, tell us about Google.
I have some good news. So
I don't think so because I use voice to text occasionally, and it's nothing but gibberish.
Well, no, Google Voice is different. Google Voice is a service that Google offers for free that gives you a phone number that you can either you can download the Google Voice number on your app on your phone,
Right.
and you have a completely different phone number. So that service, Google Voice.
Is this how Lastpass got hacked?
No, this is actually a service that Google has had for several years that I've used, and a lot of some.
I'm just saying, Joe. If you come up on my phone and it doesn't say Joe McDonald on it, I'm not answering.
You're not answering.
So don't try any tricks with me, Joe. I'm not falling for your fake phone number.
So Google
That's why
Voice.
he's gonna start calling me on from out. Well, I tried to call you, Dave. You didn't answer.
Yeah.
Not my problem that you have computer issues and I couldn't come pick them.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
So Google Voice is now flagging suspected spam calls. The service can also automatically divert confirmed spammers to voicemail. So Google Voice has made it easier to filter out spammers trying to call your number. The tech giant announced that the service will now flag suspected spam calls and clearly label them as such, complete with a big red exclamation mark. Spam calls and text have been a huge issue for years, and as we know, so Google is doubling down and making it a little bit easier if you use the Google Voice service.
What in the world? So just to make sure I understand this, you go and you get you a fake number that's not your number so that you can use it so you can't be identified, and then you're upset because you get spammed
Well,
on your new fake number that you are hiding yourself on.
Well, a lot, like for example, I know some people use it for in certain situations, like in your case, Dave, if you don't want to give people your personal cell phone number out, give them your Google Voice number, and if they call that number, then you know it's something work related.
Huh. Okay. But they're still calling me, so why wouldn't I just give them my personal number?
Because then that way you wouldn't have to deal with the 9 o'clock at night. Hey Dave, I got a question. I've been thinking about this for 3 weeks, but I figured now at 9 o'clock at night would be a perfect time to bother you.
You know what's funny in this conversation, Justin?
Yeah.
I'm right.
I've called Joe at 9 o'clock at night. Hey, sorry to bother you, man, but I got a question. Now I'm wondering if I got your real number.
No, you do.
It's been 9 at night, 6 in the morning.
Yep.
Things happen. I gotta call Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, I can't even remember the last thing I called you for. I felt really dumb too.
It's been a while.
It was something silly. Well, no, I remember because you were like, I'll just jump on the computer and check real quick.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember what it was.
He was on the right. Oh, when you
The
updated
camera?
to
Yeah.
Windows 11 while you was on the road and needed to revert back because you ran the update
No, that was before.
and OBS is
I've
break.
had multiple of these too. It was something silly. Like you told me how to fix it, and I fixed it before you could remote in and fix it, but you went ahead and just double checked.
Oh.
It was something so silly and dumb that like it should have been very apparent to me.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, just do this, blah blah blah.
Okay,
blah,
I
blah.
forgot.
Oh, let me check just to make sure you're doing what you're. Which I gotta tell you, is smart on your part, because you double checked to make sure that I was doing what you're telling me to do.
Don't
Just
just
now
take
I'm
your
thinking
word for
about it. I'm not sure that I was.
it.
I know that's we're 30 seconds into this conversation. Joe's like, never mind. I'll just remote in, man. Let me do that real quick.
Was it a webcam or the audio?
Well, that was
wasn't-
one issue, but this
Yeah,
was something
okay.
silly. I can't remember what happened.
Well, apparently you was doing it right because I don't even remember it. Because if you
Yeah,
had
I
done
mean,
something dumb, I would have remembered
Yeah,
it.
you told me where to like you were like go to settings, type this, do this,
Yeah.
and I was able to do it. But you remoted in at the same time I got to the finishing screen to save or okay or whatever. You're like, okay, here you go, and then we hung up. But yeah, so like, man, I gotta be more tech savvy. I gotta start paying attention during these podcasts so I know what the heck's going on in my computer world. Anyway, all right, so just made me think because I haven't called you 10 under 11 at night before. Okay, so Google Voice.
Yeah.
Tag on, Justin.
Google Voice is adding on to the pile of trying to fight spam calls.
Huh. What do we use? You had me using something that already filters spam out of my regular calls.
Oh, the Google Phone app.
Google Phone app. There you
Yeah.
go, yeah. I got it. I want to make sure I'm still on the Google Phone app. Weird.
So, are you guys ready for the tip of the week?
Yep.
I feel like I'm probably gonna need it.
Well, yes and no. No, because the tip of the week does not pertain to you because this is the one time you start dragging your feet paid off.
Okay.
But it's still a good idea to do this anyway. So, at the top of the show, we talked about Lastpass
Okay.
and how they blatantly dropped the ball.
Yeah.
So, if you are a Lastpass customer like myself, or former customer like myself, here's what you need to do to protect yourself from the recent hack.
Okay.
So here are your options.
So this is specifically LastPass
Yes.
customers. Okay. So turn your ears on if you're a LastPass person.
So the first thing at the bare minimum you should do is change your master password. And what your master password is, that's the password you use to unlock your password vault. Change that password, change it to something you've never used before, and make sure it's secure, a good secure password. That way, that'll help lock down what's already been released. The second thing, if you don't like that option, option 2 is change your master password and err on the side of caution and change all your passwords in your vault. Yes, this will take some time. Yes, it's tedious, but it's a small price to pay. Option 3, change your password management service over to a different platform. And before anybody freaks out, LastPass makes it very easy for you to export and download your current password vault and upload it to a new service. So you don't have to worry about trying to remember all these passwords in your vault. You can actually download your entire vault and re-upload it onto a new service. Or if you want to be super duper secure and get Joe's seal of approval, this last option is go ahead and move over to a new platform and then change all those passwords anyway. Yes, it is time consuming, it is annoying, but again, we're talking security here, so.
Yeah.
And don't use the same old password on the new platform. This is
Listen, I can remember password 123 like nobody's business.
and so can everybody on the internet.
I'm playing the backwards card, man. They think that who would use password 123?
Well, let me hold on. I can tell you.
Oh gosh, no. Don't dash my hopes here, Joe.
You've been pwned?
Yep. I'm going here. Okay, so password 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Dave, you and 250,052 other people.
That's not too bad considering. I mean, there's 8 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
It seems like pretty good odds.
Well, you said your old one was just password, right?
Yeah.
Well, now you and 9,636,205 other people as well.
Hashtag winning.
Yeah. You're using the popular crowd.
Gosh.
So if you were compromised if you're a LastPass customer, you were compromised. No, there's no two ways about it. But if you're kind of scorned like me, here are your options.
Just for the people out there, Joe, I mean, what are some other similar services to LastPass out there?
The one I'm using, the one I'm testing right now is called Bitwarden. It's a paid service, and the pricing on it is exactly the same as LastPass, but it's open source, which I like. That way there's more eyeballs on the code and make sure everything's above par. There's other services like 1Password. Let me look up here real quick. A few others. Here we go. Dashlane, Keeper, Zoho Vault, again Bitwarden, LastPass, 1Password, LogMeOncePassword, management, NordPass, Password Boss, RoboForm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's several out there, but just you have to be careful on which ones you use, because it may or may not, the company may or may not be on the up and up.
So, excuse me, how long before you have a review on the switched to password security? Well, hold on, do they do, are any of them really gonna be safer than the others, you think? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, it all depends on the security. And again, my issue was not with the security of LastPass, it was the mismanagement of their.
Okay, so just management decisions is what turned you away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're, and this is where this is where my issue lies, is what they told us their security setup is it's built for situations like this where if they do get compromised, you should be good to go, because only the time the vault itself is decrypted is when it's on your local device, which means they don't have your password on their servers for a hacker to get hold of and unlock it. My chief complaint is they waited so long to.
And Christmas, right before Christmas, dumped
Yeah.
the information to hide it. Yeah, I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's my chief complaint, because it's like, if you waited this long and you're dragging your feet on this, what other stuff are you dragging? Because it's like they just sprinkle
it next time, and yeah.
Or is there more stuff coming down the pike that you just haven't released yet?
Yeah, I got you. So it's a trust issue.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Anything else we need to know?
I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, I like it. So we had a good talk about LastPass, obviously the breach and their mismanagement and handling of the information loss, and then Samsung's washer top loader. Make sure I put these in just so I can check my own, but for this awesome recap I'm about to do. Samsung washers WA49B, 50B, 51A, 52A, 54A, and 55A. Those are the model numbers under the lid.
Mm-hmm.
Check them and see if you're affected if you have a Samsung top loading washer. And then of course,
Make sure you update it.
yeah,
Yes.
Google Voice, and then the tip of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good stuff, Joe. This is a good way to kick off the new year.
We'll try.
Yeah, we're not afraid to have those controversial talks.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyway, this one wasn't too controversial,
No,
but we're not afraid.
that's right.
Okay, going into 2023, we'll start off right and bring information out to consumers and people need to hear.
Because I was going to talk about how to protect your new device that you got over the holidays, but
Ooh,
the LastPass blew that out of the water. So
there we go. All right, next week then.
Yeah.
All right. So if anybody needs to get a hold of you, Joe, they have any questions about any of the stuff we talked about today, or anything from our past shows, or we just have technology needs, issues, or wants, how do we get a hold of you?
you can give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltech.com. Or be sure to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at AM Digital Tech for all that. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave. We're on all the major platforms, and all of our episodes are hosted by Anchor.fm.
All right. Remember, shop local. Take care of our local businesses here to support our community and sponsor our youth league sports teams and everything else that happens here in our communities. A&M Digital Technology powers all the stuff here at Patch and all the work behind the scenes. And I even call Joe sometimes at night and on weekends just to say hi.
Just to talk. Yeah.
Hey, Joe. No, that's not true. But anyway, anytime we have technological issues, Joe's my speed dial. If I knew how to put speed dial on my phone, you would be in the top slot, Joe. Just saying.
I'm Dave's emergency. I'm Dave's technology 911.
I know. Joe, I don't know how to work this air fryer. What's going on?
Dave, is it plugged in?
I don't even have an air fryer. That might
There's
be the issue.
There's your first problem.
This is true. I do not have an air fryer. I know
Really?
everybody loves them, but I.
Oh man, it's a game changer.
How? How is that a game changer?
Well, you get whatever foods like you liked deep fried,
Yeah.
but it's way healthier.
Okay.
And now that this one I have does more, I'm anxious to.
All right, bring it in next week. Justin
Yeah.
and I deserve a little week-long usage to try this sucker out, and then we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
We'll have a conclusive 3-person product review.
All right.
Cena will not mind you loaning out the air fryer. I promise.
Until she tries to use it. Where'd it go? Well,
we had this thing.
yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, for myself, Joe, and Justin, Happy New Year to everybody. Let's kick this year off right. I saw one of my friends sent me a meme that said, crap, I should have kept it now. But it was, walk into the new year with trepidation. Don't come in braggart or nothing. Just, walk in slowly, easily, watch your step.
Yeah.
Let's get 2023 in here without any big mishaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway. And then they followed it up with, hey, act like you've been here before. And they're like, that's 2022 all over again.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Stride in with confidence. No, absolutely not.
No.
Anyway, into the new year, 2023 is here. And for myself, Joe, and Justin, we'll be back next week with another episode, Help Desk with Joe. And for everybody out there, have a great day. This is a good time to have a great day.